What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new quest. Now, to really understand what we're going to be doing in this quest, I want to ask you some very basic questions. Let's set up the quest. Now, the first question is, can you recognize the images on the screen? They're very basic images. Let's read them aloud. We've got a rectangle, we've got a circle, a triangle, a square, and a pentagon, right? Cool. And let me ask you another basic question. If you live on a beach or a seaside or riverside, like Accra or Port Harcourt or Lagos, one of these cities, have you ever tried to build a sandcastle on the beach? Now, that sandcastle probably stood for a while, and then it crumbled ultimately into pieces, right? But what about your house? There's a chance that your house was even built before you were born, and it's still standing strong even till today. So, why did your sandcastle crumble, but your house did not? What was added to your house that was not added to your sandcastle? So first, your house was built on a foundation and a framework that reinforced it, strengthened it. Now, that reinforcement might have been concrete or iron rods and even wood. And this framework did two basic things. It gave your house shape and support, so more walls could be built and load can be placed inside it without it crumbling. Your sandcastle didn't have that. Now, living organisms kind of work the same way. They too need some kind of framework so they can carry out life's processes, especially movement. Now, besides, these frameworks also give them shape. Let's ask another basic question. Let's think of a goat. What does a goat look like? Now, I'm sure you can draw an outline of a goat because a goat has a certain shape due to its framework. Now, let's think of that goat again, but this time let's assume it has no framework. How will you manage to draw its outline? It's a funny question, isn't it? What about plants? Plants also need frameworks. They need to be able to support their leaves and their fruits and their branches. So, living organisms initially evolved or originated in water as these blobby, shapeless masses of cells that were carried about by the water, and eventually moved to land. But the movement to land came with a whole new set of problems. Living organisms then needed to move about to find food and to run away from predators and danger. So to solve these problems, they had to become more complex than just these blobby cells. They had to become multicellular, and they also had to develop frameworks. Even animals that eventually stayed back in water, such as fish, they also had to develop frameworks to help them move in the directions they wanted to and not just be carried around by the water. These frameworks altogether are called a supporting system. In animals, they are called skeletons. So, in this quest, here's what we're going to do. We'll get to know the several supporting systems in living organisms. We'll look at small animals and big animals and even plants. We'll see what these supporting systems are made of, what they look like, and how they are linked together to provide living organisms support and to serve other functions. We're going to start off with the lesson next, which will look at what skeletons are and what they are made of. And I'll see you then.